Theophanous until Mr. Theophanous sacked him on Monday. Mr. Theophanous, who was severely criticised in the Ombudsman's report, allegedly told Mr. Socratou he was sacking him for disloyalty. Josie Taylor reports.
While he was a Brimbank councillor, Costas Socratou worked part-time for 3 members of Parliament as an electorate officer: Theo Theophanous, Telmo Langwilla and Federal MP Brendan O'Connor. It was Mr. Socratou who revealed to the Ombudsman the pressure Mr. Theophanous exerted on council matters. In one instance, telling Costas Socratou, "You work for me, you should follow orders." He told the Ombudsman he was pressed to approve council funds for a local soccer club. It was because of that Mr. Theophanous called him to a meeting on Monday and sacked him from his job as a part-time electorate officer. Today, the ABC obtained a letter from Mr. Socratou' lawyer alleging Mr. Theophanous had accused his client of disloyalty. He accused our client of lying to the Ombudsman. He said that our client was not any longer trusted by him as he had not been loyal to him. Mr. Socratou' lawyers have written to Parliament asking for protection. Mr. Theophanous wouldn't respond to the ABC's request for an interview, nor would he respond to whether he sacked Mr. Socratou in retaliation for spilling the beans to the Ombudsman. But whatever the reason, Costas Socratou is no longer employed here, and despite all the politicians and councillors who were implicated in the Ombudsman's report, his is the only sacking. Local Government Minister Richard Wynne told the ABC he would not intervene.
I'm not in a position where I can comment on the particular nature of the conversations that have occurred between Mr. Theophanous and his employee.
The puppet master sacking the puppet seems to me to be pretty extraordinary.
Late today, MPs Brendan O'Connor and Telmo Langwilla confirmed that Mr. Socratou still works for them, but neither was available for an interview. Meanwhile, the Attorney-General still hasn't stripped convicted criminal and power broker Haki Suleiman of his Justice of the Peace credentials.
That he has been given until 4 o'clock tomorrow to show cause based on the Ombudsman's report as to whether or not he should be suspended as a JP.
Mr. Suleiman still technically works for Planning Minister Justin Madden. Josie Taylor, ABC News, Melbourne.
And in news just ahead, Theo Theophanous has told the ABC he stood down Costas Socratou on full pay because he was driven by his own ambitions rather than loyalty to Mr. Theophanous. A man who was found guilty